I'm Bob Sweeney. I'm the CEO of Challenger Corporation. Challenger was founded by a practicing physician in 1991 in Memphis to serve the needs of the emergency medicine profession in the United States, about 20,000 physicians. Early in the 2000 era, Challenger realized that it had grown to exceed the capacities of its internally developed learning platform. Today, Challenger has over 4,000 hours of credit. Each hour of that credit consists of 15 to 20 questions, associated pedagogy and remedial training, images and scans, and all of those things have to be loaded, they have to be synchronized with one another, they have to be scalable, and they have to lend themselves to being reviewed on a regular basis. As you may know, in medicine, all content that's to be taken credibly by end users is peer-reviewed. That means our 200 contract editors and reviewers and 9 sponsoring medical societies and CME organizations annually or more often get to review what we provide to our doctors and tell us if we're meeting the standard of care. So we need to have a continuous peer review and upgrade session, and the platform provided by Outstart lets us do that effectively. We constantly reuse content. Material developed here, the way it works in medicine, we have an author team, an author and editor team of physicians and other clinicians who develop material for us. With medicine, you're talking about a very highly skilled audience, a very picky one, and one that has a fair amount of variation in terms of the way they conduct procedures or practice medicine. Imagine, if you will, a content library of 4,000 hours. If you printed that library out, it would take up 20 feet of shelf space. In the past environment, before we engaged Outstart, every time we issued a new release of that library, it meant we had to rebuild the library from the ground up. So we had to make sure that old content stayed in the right places, that new content went in the right places, and that in doing so we didn't change one or the other inappropriately. It would be practically impossible with the scope of the library we have today to redo it the way we did in the past, and that's certainly one of the benefits of using the Outstart system. If you're going to use third-party material, you need to have a platform, or you want to have a platform that's flexible, that's adapted to all of those environments, so you can easily bring it in, reconfigure it for your own editing platform, and not have to have an ability to have your own staff have expertise in each of these competency areas. Let's suppose we have a change in the standard of care for the topical treatment of the skin presentation. And we know that that's been brought to our attention by one of our family medicine reviewers. So we know that we would change that in our family medicine content of the dermatology section. How would we be confident that this standard of care propagated into the other specialties and areas where this topic existed? If you have to do that by hand, it's cumbersome and time-consuming, and you always risk the possibility of missing a deployment area. With a flexible system of the kind we receive from Outstart, we can predictably change all areas where that material is identified. The system permits us to do that. In approximately the year 2000, a little bit later than that, we were a $1 million firm. We had 8,000 retail users, and we had not even created an institutional platform yet. That was part of our planning environment. That's 7 years ago. Today, we have 28,000 retail users. We have 75 institutional clients. We've grown from 2,000 to 4,000 content hours, and we have 200 authors, editors, and reviewers. Those things would not have been possible without a platform that was resilient, flexible, and expandable as we grew. If we weren't using this platform, we would have to have at least twice as many people working for us. I must say, based on experience, that we've been greatly rewarded and pleased with the ability of the Outstart organization to be flexible in adapting its technology to the things we need to do. I think the most exciting benefit for us, and it far exceeded even our expectations, and even though it was a selection criteria, was the top-down commitment to customer satisfaction.